So for this story we have Arthur Goes to Camp by Marc Brown. "I'm not going," said Arthur. "Arthur, you'll love camp. Think of all the new friends you'll make," said his mother. "I have fond memories of my own camp days," said Arthur's father. "Camp will teach you about the great outdoors." "I'm not going," said Arthur. Arthur was at the camp bus stop the next morning. Buster was standing with a new kid. "He's got 100 comic books in his footlocker," squealed Buster, pointing to the brain. Francine was there too. "You guys better watch out. Tent 3 is full of bats and snakes," she yelled out the window. "It's going to be just like school. The girls against the boys," thought Arthur. Do they really have that in camp? No. Okay. When the bus passed Camp Horsewater, even the girls stopped teasing. "Look at those guys," said Buster. "They're going to be in great shape for our scavenger hunt. No wonder they always win." "That's no camp. That's a zoo," said Arthur. They look really big for a bunch of kids. Things were different at Camp Meadowcroak. Well, at least for the girls. "I'll do my best to make this a wonderful summer for you," said the girls' counselor, Becky. Even Muffy looked eager when she pulled up in her limousine. "Where do I plug in the air conditioner?" she hollered. Do we really need ACs, air conditioners, at camp? The boys' counselor was a different story. "Attention! Men, line up!" barked Rocky. Rocky is the men's camp counselor. "Stand up straight. Suck in those guts. I've never seen such a soft, flabby bunch. No dessert for you men this summer." Someone seems a little more serious about this camp. Okay. Muffy had brought her own dessert. After a dinner that tasted like macaroni and fleas and worm burgers, she opened her trunk. The girls dug right in. At bedtime, Muffy discovered the tent had no electricity. Is there electricity outside in the woods? No. "How will I brush my teeth?" she moaned. That is a big problem for Muffy. The boys were too tired from all their running and push-ups to think about brushing their teeth. They crawled under the covers. Arthur screamed. "Ah! Amphibians! How fascinating," said the brain. "No, they're frogs," said Buster. "Just wait until we get hold of those girls," said Arthur. "Oh, I noticed a card from Arthur. Dear Mom and Dad, camp is terrible. Just like I thought. The food is bad. I'm still very homesick. Please come and get me. Love, Arthur." Do you think Arthur and his friends are having fun right now? What makes you think that they're not having fun? There's a lot of small animals here. Do you think you can name some of the animals? There's some frogs, yes. And just like our friend here, Brain, he mentioned the scientific way of saying frogs is amphibians. Let's count how many amphibians or frogs there is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 frogs in Arthur's tent. Let's see what happens next. "Forget about the frogs," said the girls. You guys better worry about the softball game instead. The girls were beating the boys at everything. Disgusting, said Rocky. I'll never live this down. Oh, what kind of sports do we see them playing? They're rowing the boat here. It looks like they're playing tag here. And even, I'm seeing some archery. Let's see what they were saying. We see Francine with a friend on the boat. Let's see you do the dead man's float, Buster. Uh-oh, looks like Brain fell and Muffy's still running. Have a good trip, Brain. I see Arthur over here and Francine doing some archery. Oh, it looks like Francine got it in, right in the bullseye. Let's see what's going on. In fact, all that week, the girls were great campers. They built campfires, they pitched tents, they tied knots, and they even identified plants. Oh. All the boys could find was poison ivy. Rocky hid in the cabin. Arthur wrote postcards from home. Oh no. You see all the plants here? What the boys found was poison ivy. That just makes our skin very itchy. Dear Mom and Dad, I miss you. And I cried when I read your letter. When are you coming to get me? Camp is gross. Love, Arthur. How do we think Arthur's feeling from camp right now? He's feeling sad. He misses his mom and dad. And he wants to go home, right? Let's see if he'll get better for Arthur. Arthur had a lot to write about. The frogs in his bed were bad enough, but now really weird things were happening. The girls thought the boys threw a smoke bomb into their tent. The boys thought the girls took all their clothes. But one night, everybody heard strange noises and footsteps in the woods. It had to be someone else. Oh no. Someone's being really mean to Arthur right now. And his friends. Dear Mom and Dad, this place gives me the creeps. I've got to get out of here, said Arthur. Oh no. What do you think these footsteps could be? Everyone was too scared to tell ghost stories. We have to do something, said the brain. Let's stand watch tonight and find out what's going on. Oh no. Oh, this is one activity that we can do at camp. Does anyone know what what Arthur and his friends are doing here? They made a fire, yes. And they used the fire to cook food, to heat up marshmallows, maybe make some s'mores. Sounds like fun. I think we found out who's making those noises. But let's read and find out. So that's it. Camp Horse Water, whispered Buster. They've been trying to scare us all along. Don't worry. We'll fix them tomorrow at the scavenger hunt, said the brain. I've got a plan, but we'll need the girls' help. Arthur had a plan too. He decided to run away. Is running away exactly a good idea? No, not at all. We see some people from the other camp trying to scare, and it looks like it's the girls. We hear, woo! Another one, grrr. We have a friend going, woo! Woo! If we look closely, what is he making? It looks like tracks. Let's find out. The next morning, Becky read the list of things to find. And be back at sunset, she said. The brain nudged Francine. Time for phase 1 of the plan, he whispered. Watch out for the bears. The woods are full of them, she yelled to the horsewater kids. They just laughed. Nobody noticed Arthur sneaking away. Let's see what's on the list that they need to get for their scavenger hunt. They need to have all these supplies on the list before sunset and bring it back to show that they won the scavenger hunt. A frog, an oak leaf, a balloon, a pair of sunglasses, sneakers, a banana, an alarm clock, and a flashlight. Oh. Let's see where they're going. Let's see what Arthur's doing. Everybody was in the woods, looking for things. Strange noises started coming from the bushes. Suddenly, a huge, furry animal burst from under the bush. A bear! A bear! Hollered Muffy and Buster and Francine, trying not to giggle. We see Buster, Francine, and Muffy laughing. But does the kids from the other camp look like they're laughing? I don't think so. When the Meadowcroak team started hunting again, the bear helped too. How can you wear this coat, Muffy? Said Brain, whose voice flattened out from the fur. It's so hot. Wait, before we continue reading, does anyone notice this was the same coat that Muffy was in when she came to camp? And who was inside the coat? Our friend the Brain. So he was pretending to be the bear. Silly Brain. It's never too hot for mink, Muffy grinned. Our plan really worked, but we still haven't found a flashlight. And has anyone seen Arthur? asked Buster. It doesn't matter if the Horsewater team never comes down from the trees. We can't win if we don't have everything, groaned Francine. Oh, well, let's look at what they have so far. They have the banana, a sneaker, I think the leaf, if I'm not mistaken. They have the alarm clock, they have the frog, and they have the balloon. If my memory is correct, they just need the flashlight, right? Let's see. Meanwhile, it was getting dark, and Arthur was lost. He heard strange noises. Were they footsteps? Arthur reached into his backpack for his flashlight. He snapped it on. What do you think Arthur will find when he turns on his light? Let's find out. A flashlight! We won! 3 cheers for Arthur. They found the final object on the list. Oh, I see one more card from Arthur. Dear Mom and Dad, the scavenger hunt was great. Camp is great. I want to come back next year. Love, Arthur. Enjoy, everyone.